Initially, the economic challenges for a company like ours, we're trying to raise money, obviously. Things that I had spoken about this morning, having good sound fundamentals at the management team level, breadth of experience and depth of understanding the issues both within the organization and within our industry are key. So I think success will be driven by those components. And then in addition, we're working in a global economy and a global industry. So really staying close to trends, both what's happening in the regulatory field in the United States, in Europe, and in Asia and Latin America are also crucial and can impact, future success for a company like ours. Yeah, I think that with respect to the biopharmaceutical space, I think the key is critical mass. And there's a broad spectrum of sizes and shapes that one will find organizations. The biopharmaceutical large pharma companies that have tended to have challenges recently through layoffs and such, and also reductions in productivity, my opinion is those are really a result of scale, having too large of a scale. That affects efficiency, the speed with which programs are able to move through the development phase and research phases, and also ability to make decisions. It's so hard for large companies to get together and efficiently and productively make decisions. On the other end of the spectrum where we live, decision making is easy. Not the decisions themselves, but the speed with which we're able to make them. So it's a phone call or a conversation versus having to get a committee together. So that's an advantage that we can take, and I think that our ability to actually that being successful in actually setting ourselves apart in making fast decisions, I think is an advantage, a competitive edge for us. The risk actually gets lower as one is able to advance programs closer to the market, obviously. But I think that in today's sort of area of medicine and science, going after validated targets where we know something about the connection between target and disease, I think is an additional area where we're reducing risk. Maybe a decade or so ago, people were looking to novel targets. And novel is great because it generates a lot of excitement and there's a lot of potential in the connection between the science and the medicine. Problem is, one doesn't know enough about it, and therefore the risk seems to remain high in those cases. So I think exploiting known targets, and there's a lot of way to exploit known targets, that's where we're going to sort of modify the risk, and I think probably be able to move medicines through the clinic faster and get them to patients sooner. The FDA, one way for us to look at it is a partnership. FDA sits on so much data and have so much background because they see all the sponsors coming forth with their data and discussions on issues and so forth. Approaching it in a partnership way is I think the way to get access to that knowledge that they sit on versus an adversarial relationship isn't going to help anyone. The Critical Path Initiative, which is something that they've been putting forth the last decade or so and trying to speed the process, I'm not sure that's really helping all that much. I just think it's going to be harder and harder. As we talked about today, the bar to safety for new drugs is going up. So drug designers and drug developers just have to be more cautious and I think get better access to information, and so much of it lies with FDA. So again, that partnership will help all of us. I had a great conversation after the panel today, and I made mention to the fact that with mentors or people that can provide advice, so often they talk about what they did in their careers. But I would encourage people, don't be afraid to take a shot right out of school. Don't let the conditions of the economy and the industry dissuade one from actually making that leap at the start of your career. There's a certain level of enthusiasm that comes with fresh people out of academia. And often people that have been in the industry for quite some time have sort of lost that edge. Not really entrepreneurs, but are just looking to sort of break into a different area. So I would really encourage people, don't let anything discourage you from really making that break when you feel you're ready.